going on, guys? Unofficial MCU here, hope you're all doing well, and in today's video we have some very exciting news for Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage, and furthermore some details and teases for Spider-Man No Way Home connecting to Tom Hardy and Venom 2, so without further ado, let's get right on into it. The first bit of information here that we're going to be talking about comes directly from Andy Serkis, the director of Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage, in a recent interview saying that Spider-Man and Venom will definitely be meeting in the near future. Now, whether or not that's going to be the future as in like in 5 years or in the next couple of months in Spider-Man No Way Home is completely up in the air, completely unknown, and it's simply just a tease. Furthermore, to kind of put it into quotations here of what the director had to say, it's gonna happen. So that's pretty much a confirmation that it is definitely going to be happening sometime in the very near future here between Spider-Man No Way Home and a Venom 3, somewhere in those kind of, Spider-Man type of movies and franchises going on with Sony and Marvel working together. And as I had mentioned, Andy Serkis said this himself, so he is the director of Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage. And then Ruben, I'm going to try to pronounce this the best possible way I can, Fleischer, I think is how you might say it, I'm sorry if I did butcher that name, is the director of Venom 1. Now, whether or not these two directors and of course the companies between Marvel and Sony have been very closely communicating for Spider-Man No Way Home, and really all of their, overall MCU projects goes for that as well. So whether or not these directors have been communicating back and forth ever since 2018 when the first Venom movie did come out is kind of unknown, but I would kind of speculate that they have, seeing that it would kind of correlate in some sort of manner, in some sort of sense, and seeing that Sony is almost kind of like taking notes here from Marvel, it just kind of makes sense that the two would be kind of, corresponding here and communicating and what they want to do here with this Venom trilogy here, so to speak. Now, we got Venom 1, we got Venom 2, and we're, definitely hopefully going to be getting a Venom 3, and that leads me to my next point here of what we have here in today's news update here. It's a direct quote here from Tom Hardy himself. Of course, he plays Eddie Brock in the Venom movies. And I quote, "There's a Spider-Verse and multiverses that could be potentially explored in Venom 3. End quote right there, of course, coming directly from Tom Hardy himself in a recent interview. Guys, that is really exciting. I mean, let that sink in. I mean, not only is he teasing it, but he's kind of just almost like confirming, almost kind of like Andy Serkis is kind of doing here with a meeting of Spider-Man and Venom, the two characters here meeting. It's almost like a confirmation almost. I mean, that's insane. I mean, of course, seeing that Eddie Brock, or rather Tom Hardy, is the main character for these films, he's definitely going to know pretty much almost everything that's going on for this franchise and these upcoming movies and projects. He knows what he's going to be doing. I mean, these actors and actresses, they all know what's going on in their upcoming future projects, whether it's far out there or if it's coming out in just a couple of months. They definitely know what's going on, and they definitely know what's happening because they're there to film it. They read over the scripts, all of that goes down. And that leads on to a furthermore of a little bit of a speculation in theory out there, is that this was all planned from the start. I mean, Venom 1, Venom 2, and Venom 3 were all planned from the start. Ever since they gave the first script here for, all the Venom franchise and series here, the trilogy here that's going on for Venom, ever since they gave that to Tom Hardy, he's known what's going on ever since. And with that, he has somewhat of an idea here what's going to go on and happen here for Venom 3. And of course, there is that whole idea that they could, change around and mix around a few little different things and tweak things here and there. But seeing that not only, Andy Serkis and Tom Hardy are saying these things in the last couple of days, as in like the last 48, 72 hours now at this point, of course, depending on when you're watching this video, they're kind of really hyping up, Venom 2 for one thing, and for another thing, Spider-Man No Way Home, which brings on my next point here for today's news update here, including Tom Hardy here once again, and then after that, we're going to get a little more in depth here what's going on with Venom 2 and the post-credit scene and all those juicy news that's going on with all of that, because there is a lot of hype going on, not only for the movie here with what a lot of critics have had to say about the overall movie, but a lot of critics here are pointing out what's going on here with the post-credit scene after the credits here for Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage. So definitely stick around for those post-credit scenes if you're going to go see that movie. And by far, this right here, this really takes the cake here. This really just blows things out of proportion and builds up a whole lot of hype for the future of Venom and Spider-Man. Tom Hardy wears a No Way Home production hat, and it was later deleted. I mean, let that whole phrase kind of sink in. Tom Hardy, who plays Eddie Brock in the Venom series here, in the Venom trilogy here, the Venom, franchise here, was spotted wearing a No Way Home hat next to Andy Serkis, for one thing, as the two had recently done an interview together, and then this photo was later deleted. Now, whether or not the initial interview was deleted, I honestly highly doubt, but there was different photographs and images going around for these two, so I'm going to presume that the overall interview was also taken down, maybe in some sort of context, and, maybe involving the parts with Tom Hardy they might have, taken out or whatever. I'm not completely sure on what's going on with that, but I had, later heard that these photos have been taken down. I'm pretty sure whoever was, deciding to do this interview with these two guys were planning to release this interview later today or in the next coming days here with the, Venom 2 is building up a lot of hype here and it's going to be coming out here very, very soon. So I was going to presume that they were going to be releasing it here in the next couple of days, maybe over the weekend, something like that. So they were maybe releasing a few promo images, and those promo images began to spark up a lot of hype as people noticed that Tom Hardy is wearing a Spider-Man No Way Home production hat in these interviews, which... Why would you wear a Spider-Man No Way Home production hat out of all things? It's not like an official hat or anything, maybe a fan-made hat or anything like that. Why would you decide to wear a Spider-Man No Way Home hat, production hat out of all things, if you're not working on the film? And I had mentioned this in previous updated videos here for Spider-Man No Way Home that involve Andrew Garfield more, specifically, but for also other actors and, such as Tobey Maguire that are going to be, supposedly in the movie and that are rumored to be in the movie and that have been rumored to be involved in this film some way or another in the previous 6 months now at this point. Why would you be denying these rumors if you're not going to be in it? Just say you're not in it if you're not in it. So that kind of leads to that. And as you guys can probably already tell, I'm really, really hyped at this point because why would Tom Hardy, I'm just kind of trying to figure this out. Why would Tom Hardy wear a No Way Home hat, for an interview and a production hat if you're not going to be involved in the film? It just doesn't make sense. You put two and two together. Hey, he's wearing a production hat for Spider-Man No Way Home. He's going to be involved in the film in some way or another, whether or not he's going to be actually appearing here as Eddie Brock or if he's going to be Venom or whatever the case may be. Now, I heard some speculations and some fan theories out there going around that he's not really actually going to be physically in the movie, but rather he's actually just doing a few voice work here for the initial film here, maybe for a post-credit scene or something like that, or a multiversal scene. Maybe we'll see, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man or Tobey Maguire Spider-Man or somebody going through, some sort of multiversal portal, as we did see in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer when Doctor Strange opens up the multiverse of madness here, essentially, and these different portals for the Spider-Verse. Essentially, maybe we'd hear some sort of glimpse, whether it's different phrases that these characters, say or do, or glimpses at what these characters might resemble or look like. It's something along those lines is what a lot of fans' speculations and theories have been kind of going about. I don't really know at this point if we're going to have a separate video going more in depth and covering more on this whole idea of wearing a No Way Home production hat. Tom Hardy doing this. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm bamboozled by it because I'm not trying to convince myself that he is involved in the film, but I'm pretty much trying to give myself a reason as if there's some sort of logical explanation that he would be maybe wearing a No Way Home hat, for this interview, whether or not he's actually involved in the film or not. And to be completely fair, not that there's really too much more to go in depth or really talk about, but still, the whole idea really baffles me, and I'm going to cover more of that definitely on our Instagram, so make sure you guys check that out, linked down in the description, Unofficial MCU. The final and last vocal point I want to cover in today's updated video was the post-credit scene and all the hype that's been getting for Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. After all, this initial video here is about Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, so let's kind of end it with that. Of course, as I had mentioned a little earlier on in the video, there had been a lot of hype going around from a lot of critics for the Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage. Of course, they've been saying it's an absolutely amazing, phenomenal movie here. It's, action-packed, all of the above, of course, type of thing here. But what a lot of critics in interviews and previews had to say about this film is the post-credit scene. It was mind-blowing, and a lot of fans and a lot of critics were very, very blown away about this post-credit scene here. So we're really going to have to wait and see for October 1st what we're going to be getting here with the Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage post-credit scene. It's definitely, I'm going to have, if it's really that hype as of what the people are living up to and saying, it's either going to follow the lines of initial, kind of what the original idea of post-credit scenes are essentially going to be, and it kind of is a glimpse at what the next future projects for either option A, the character is going to be involved in, so Venom could possibly be involved in either two options, two upcoming projects and films, that either, for one thing, being Venom 3, or it could be Spider-Man No Way Home. It's definitely going to circulate around one of those things. I really can't take any other ganders or guesses at what it could possibly really be. We'll just kind of have to wait and see, and it's kind of up in the air, guys. With all of that, guys, I want all of your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below, guys. What do you think about Andy Serkis and his little bit of tease here for Spider-Man and Venom meeting in the near future? What do you guys think about Tom Hardy? What do you guys have to say here about a Spider-Verse and multiverses that could potentially be explored here in Venom 3? Guys, what do you think about Tom Hardy wearing a Spider-Man No Way Home production hat in an interview? Guys, I want all of your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoy it, as it really does help the channel, and check out our Instagram, unofficial MCU, for more Marvel-related content. Guys, thanks so much for watching today's video, and remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Peace out.